Black Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. Massive. Stay tuned. All the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Black Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. That's it.
Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe.
Nimetoka kutafuta na sikieni mrembo pia ningependa kukujua, nipe mkono tafadhali tupotee mtaa, twende nje twende njia mbali sana, mali kawa ya masishe hivi tumetulia kwa beach tunachomwa na jua hivi, simu ziko off hakuna mtu anatusumbua, hoteli 12 star baraku ruka fanya shopping tu nguzo viatu sawa, hizo nguo pia hapo sawa, ninaanza mbili usiku maisha ya jamu, baadaye masaa 7 tunaingia club kwa makali yote unataka vipi dijana cheza ngome yote unataka, Hadija tafadhali ishi na mimi lele kwa wangu na wako tishiki.
Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Nataka kuko usichowahi ahidiwa, nawe utahisi umebarikiwa toka zamani, nimekutamani mrembo kama wewe hafai kuwa bila mchumba, nipe nafasi, nimekutamani. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote.
Yes, karibuni sana to the African Diary Show. Shout out to Ajali, I see you in the building. Ian Abudhi, I see you in the building. Karibuni.
The culture, future in life, me want me soldier. Out of the land of misery, want the poacher. See me treasure you, cause you are me fortune. Me without you, it could have been me torture. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Hadija subiri iwe wako nikupe mahaba na kuyote tuwe milele.
Some throwback hits as we continue with our Thursday. But anyway, people, karibuni sana to another episode of the African Diary Show. And in case this is your first time being here, my name is Katie, and this is the Black Hot Fire Network. media of the 21st century, and I hope you're doing great on this wonderful Thursday afternoon right on my side. I don't know what is the time on your side, but you can as well let me know what is the time on your side. We are at 24 degrees Celsius right here in Nairobi. Bado sijui kwenyu mkoaje, but I hope you can let me know what is the weather on your side. We started off our show with an amazing jam that was Y Ray featuring Jua Kali, and that is a Hadija remix. I hope you did get to jam and to eat as we're getting started with our show for today. And my conversation of today, the main focus of the day, will be about Zimbabwe. And then on Joby's show, I had somebody talking about Patrice Lumumba's story and how he was assassinated. And I understand that so many of us don't know the real history. So I'd love to talk about Patrice Lumumba and how he was assassinated. And of course, I have this book I have been reading, so it is something that is there in history. So I want to read some pages of the history for you guys so that you can know how Patrice Lumumba was assassinated, because I had somebody talk about Patrice Lumumba and the kid told them, please go and read. So I even want to read it for you, read it here with you, because we all need to understand history at the end of the day. Shout out to Big A, Karibu Sana, and to everybody who is joining us. And please make sure you're tapping the screen as you join us so that you can attract more audience, and also they can get to educate us as well as educate them as we continue with our day for today. We're going back to one more jam. I'll be back with our quote of the day. In case you have a quote of the day you'd love to share with us right here, tafadhali make sure you keep it coming. It is maybe some long day to some of us, so we need some motivation to keep on going. It might be some heavy day, a rough day for so many of us right here. You know, we don't know people's situation, so it is always a good to offer that wise word of motivation, that wise saying that you feel like it is going to motivate somebody right here. So we're going back to one more jump. Let's get back here, rather let's meet back right here. And remember, this is the African Diary Show.
Tumaini langu mie, utulivu wangu wakuisha tu, nisiachilie. Tumaini langu mie, halijanisubiri niwe wako, nikupe mapana yangu yote, tuwe milele mimi na wewe. Halijanisubiri niwe wako, nikupe mapana yangu yote, tuwe milele mimi na wewe.
My quote of the day says that you are so much stronger than your excuses. You are so much stronger than your excuses.
All the way in Switzerland, and you're tuning into the Blackouts Fire Radio, and you're listening to the African Diary Show with Cathy. That's it. Thank you.
Yes, welcome back to the African Diary Show. Of course, we were continuing with some heat over there, some throwback heat. I hope you did get to jump onto it. As we get started, now checking Nebukadnezar in the building. Shout out to you. AZ, I see you in the building. Primal, I see you. And to the rest of of the people joining us. I see Nebuchadnezzar is saying, Wagwan Katie, madam, Wagwan to you too. How are you doing? I see Jonah, technician in the building. Karibu sana, Jonah, and to everybody who is just joining us. This is the Blackouts Fire Network Radio Media of the 21st century. And of course, my name is Katie, and this is the African Diary Show. And in case you're wondering what we talk about on the African Diary Show, it is always about the African people, the beautiful continent of Africa, and the day-to-day life activities of the African people. So yeah, it is all about African people. And I said on today's episode, we're going to major our conversations on Patrice Lumumba's assassination and also Zimbabwe. And why are we talking about Zimbabwe? It is because they are almost going to the polls, or rather to cast their votes or to the ballot. But what is happening? Zimbabwe has had a huge problem of power cuts every time. You remember there was some day we talked about this, and we said that they were experiencing power cuts every 12 hours of the day, to a point that they say that now we are used to this. And it is just crazy that Africans, we are getting used to situations keeping us in poverty. But what do we have to do? We always ought to get used to this, to the situation, rather than get out of the situation. This is what is said, and I say that most of us embrace poverty. And why do I say we are embracing poverty as African people? It's like we're protecting poverty. Yes, we are in poverty, but what are we always doing to get out of this poverty? But at the end of the day, remember now, if it comes to blame game, of course, we cannot keep on blaming Africans. We cannot keep on blaming one person. And remember, this was a problem that had a cause, and who was the person who brought this problem. But at the end of the day, yes, Zimbabwe has been facing a lot of blackouts, power cuts, and yet they have a president. I remember their president is the famous president who was involved in the gold smuggling episode. We remember that, the gold mafia. Yes, of course, he's one of the gold mafias, in case you don't remember. He was involved. He had a nephew who was involved, and also his advisor was still involved in the gold smuggling industry, and or rather scandal. And nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about this. He has been smuggling gold out of his country, but his people are in poverty. Only, if you're a puppet, at least elevate your people. But now what have we been seeing with these African people? They are always greedy. They just want to make it all about themselves. Karibu sana, Anita, and to everybody who is there. Yes, these African puppets, they always want to make sure that they enrich themselves. They don't care about anybody else, themselves and their families, because this is what we have been seeing. Look at the Pandora Papers. You remember the whole scandal of Pandora Papers? Nobody, of course, talks about it even right now. And remember, the Pandora Paper scandal was not even brought on the mainstream television. So what I'm talking about is that these people, they always think about themselves and their families. Yes, why did I give an example with the Pandora Paper scandal? It is because it was Kenyamile and Kenyatta and his family. No other citizen outside the family was involved. So it is just crazy. Very, very sad and crazy at the end of the day, because who gets to remain in poverty? It is us, the African people. Karibu sana, Kid. You're saying good morning. Good evening to you, Kid. Yes, actually, it is evening, or yes, it is evening right now. But anyway, what I'm talking about is Zimbabwe hope for end of blackouts as the election nears. And I said that it is just crazy. And remember, we talked about President Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe being involved in the gold smuggling scandal. And he had all the people that were involved. They are closely related to Mnangagwa. Thank you very much, Rolling Thunder. Thank you very much. But yes, I'm talking about President Mnangagwa, and yes, I'm talking about him and him being involved in the gold smuggling scandal. But his country right now, they are hoping to get out of darkness, because they have been experiencing blackouts all the time, like for the longest time. But remember, their president is busy smuggling the resources of the country. And you talk about African puppets. Okay, you're a puppet, but can't you mind that African name that you have on you? Because okay, you're always thinking about yourselves and your family, but you don't even look back to these people who had hope in you because they believed in you. You know, it is just sad and crazy that we have Nagangwa smuggling gold out of his country and selling it to the Arabs and the Europeans, but he cannot even make sure that there is a power in the country. He cannot even make sure that the country is running without blackouts. But he is busy smuggling the resources the country has that should make sure that the country is running. It is very sad to see that this is what has been happening to all African countries. Yeah, it is what is happening to all African people, knowing that we are sitting on the best continent on the world, but we are in poverty, stinking poverty. We are in a continent where people are dying because of hunger. They have not eaten for more than 10 days. They just die. We are in a continent where we even lack medical services, education. You know, it is just crazy. And who is keeping us in this poverty? Of course, the puppets contribute a lot. But who are their bosses? Because these people are not puppets without bosses. Of course, they have their bosses. And this is what I want some of us to understand right here. We can blame them all we want. But remember, they have their own bosses. And now these bosses are the ones we're talking about, and they are the ones making us suffer, live in poverty. You know, it is sad. But I see Ansan Kenon is saying, I'm back. Hey, Katie. Karibu sana. Karibu to the Katie Landa. And I see you're saying, did the two debaters come back? They didn't. They're not here yet, but I hope they will be back because they promised to be back. Somebody said that he's even waiting. He's not leaving. But I see I'm seeing Rolling Thunder in the building. Thank you for the gifts. And also you're saying we need to deal with our own traitors. Very true. We need to deal with these traitors. And imagine I say this, you know, a traitor will never convert to a good person. He will always be a sellout. The only way we can deal with these people is get rid of them. A traitor will always be a traitor. A sellout will always be a sellout. If you think that these people can really change, I'm sorry. They can never. They have been doing this. They have been brought up to do this, because remember, these people are the ones we see. It is a dynasty. Their fathers were president. Now it is their turn to become presidents, and their sons are waiting to become presidents as well. So there is no way we can deal with these people. The only way we can deal with them is get rid of them. Get rid of them. But I see a kid you're saying, I'm going over TikTok. That's where the best conversation are like all the YouTubers. Yes, and also you're saying Rolling Thunder is one of them. Okay, we have Rolling Thunder in the building. If you'd like to join me, maybe he'll let me know. But yes, what we're talking about, these people, these sellouts, selling out our resources, giving out, we cannot even say it is selling, giving out our resources while we remain in poverty. Do they even give them for free? Because I don't even see them having things that are worth those diamonds, those gold. You know, it is just crazy. You see, you have resources, you know you have them, you know your president is selling them off to other countries, but he cannot even afford to make sure that there's power running in the country. You know, it is just crazy. Crazy. But I see Marcos Gave in the building. Marcos Gave in the building, and I say hello to you too, Marcos, and to everybody who is there. Rolling Thunder, thank you very much. And yes, to all those who are joining us. We're talking about puppets and selling us out, but now the main focus is about Zimbabwe, and the Zimbabweans are hoping for the ending of blackouts since they are headed to the polls. Or rather, they are just waiting now a new puppet to be instilled and see that if the situation will remain the same, they will remain in darkness. You know, it is just crazy. In Africa, we can produce more electricity than we need, but in Africa is where we even buy electricity. It is insane. It is just crazy and very sad. But now we are looking on what we can do about the situations. And I said one of the biggest action we would go and we will be able to deal with these puppets. It's just to get rid of them. Just get rid of them. Just like Rolling Thunder said, we deal with them. I think dealing with them is only getting rid of them, because a sellout will always remain a sellout. They will never change and become better people. Yeah, they would be fooling you if you think that they have changed and become better people. But anyway, what has happened in Zimbabwe? We're talking about power cuts in Zimbabwe. And fans are outside saying we need power, but Mnangagwa is busy smuggling gold. Huh? It is just crazy. Let me read you some article right here as we continue, and also as we get to understand what really Zimbabweans are hoping for or are crying for as they wait to go to the elections. But I say, yes, at the fuel station, the Emmanuel Buru supervises in Zimbabwe, second industrial city of Bulawayo, electricity outages are norm. At the station has no functional generator. His staff now work shorter hours. For most of their 12-hour shift, they sit around waiting for electricity to work and then leave an hour early to be able to get home before darkness descends. Perishable products often go bad in the station's mini-mart and fridge because fridges have broken down, or rather they can't work without electricity. It is just crazy. Imagine people, they know at this time of the day the power has to go out. Imagine you're sitting in your house knowing that at this time of the day the power will go out. At this time of the day I'll be forced to close my job early, my shop early, because I'll have no electricity and I have to get home early. So I have to leave work early as well. You know, it is just sad. It is very sad. But I see Odele in the building. Karibu sana Odele. I see Rolling Thunder is saying, let me dash back home. I'm leaving work now. I will see you in an hour. In an hour, I'll be already gone, but it is okay. Thank you for joining me. I see Odele, you're saying hey to you too. And also you're saying you don't know DNX. And also I see Kid, you're saying, okay, Katie, I'm ready. Karibu sana, Kid. And Rolling Thunder said he'll be back in an hour, but I don't think he'll find us right here because we are already far gone. Karibu sana, Kid.
Happy Thursday afternoon to you.
Happy Thursday afternoon to you too, Keith.
It's Thursday morning, Katie.
Oh, happy Thursday morning to you, Keith.
That's right.
Okay. So I'm talking about Zimbabwe and power cuts. right now we have Zimbabweans hoping that now they will not have to go to blackouts because they are going to have a new president. Remember, they are supposed to be going to the polls next month, and they are hoping for a better president who.
I understand the vote. They got a puppet, and there's a puppet that the Europeans are trying to put in over Managua.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why Zimbabwe has been put, like, I wish Simba was back. Zimbabwe's been destroyed because you don't want to blame the white people because of white people. They put sanctions on Zimbabwe with the U.S. fake dollar because the Zimbabweans decided finally to go get the land back that the Europeans had stolen. That's why history is so important. The Zimbabweans, as children back in the late 70s, that whole country was still controlled by white people. Owned everything, controlled everything. Black people were not allowed to go to certain parts of their own country. They were not allowed to have certain jobs. They were the maids. They were all the servants of like they was called Rhodesia. And so they went to war. And they won that war. African people, being loving, they said, you know what, okay, we're not going to fight you, even throw you out of the country. Now, the youth, the new Africans learning, get all y'all got to go. That's what they doing in Niger, that's what they doing in Mali, all you white people, get the hell out of here. Unlike that, back in that time, Zimbabwe still allowed the white people who fought them to stay there and still own the land after the Africans won the war. That don't even make any sense, but that was happening. So then, Mugabe trying to be nice. He said, "Okay, we're going to pay for the land that you stole from us, Katie. We're going to pay for the land that you white people came and stole from us." White people say, "Nah, we don't want your money. We want the land. We want the land. Yeah, we stole it. We stole it fair and square, Katie. We stole it fair and square." So then, after 20 years, Katie, 20 of trying to negotiate with England and white people around the world, said Africans need the land that they just stole. We are landless. So eventually, what he did, he said, you know what? Fuck it. That land goes back to African people. So he started going in, taking the farms that white people had stolen and giving it back to black people, right? So Mugabe started giving the land back to these people. And so white people, I told you, they don't play tribal games. It's about their power. They said, okay, you dirty niggas, you think you're going to take the land from white people? We're going to sanction your country. We're going to make sure that you cannot trade in international markets. We're going to say you cannot, because remember the dollar, you can't trade with other countries unless you got the U.S. dollar. So now you can't trade with other countries. That's the reason why they were doing the gold thing, to try to bring currency into Zimbabwe. I wanted to teach you that, but I could not have time to teach you that. So they've been putting economic ruin because white people play for keeps. They play economic warfare. So what they did, they plunged. I told Zimbabwe was that you or was that Joe had looked for Zimbabwe was one of the richest countries in Africa, one of the most well-educated countries in Africa, but not no more. They plunged them into darkness. They plunged them into damn poverty. This is called economic warfare, Katie. That white people, those citizens don't blame white people. That white people are doing, Katie. White people. Because you said, Katie, I come in your house, I knock you in the head, I said, Katie, your house is not mine. You said, keep the smile. Katie, it's mine now. So I have your house for like 100 years, Katie. And you finally get it back. I said, how dare you, Katie? How dare you take your own house back? Okay. Other white people around the world that control the economics of the planet, they're going to put sanctions on you, Katie. So you're not going to be able to make any money to even keep the lights on in your house. He said, but Keith, that's unfair. It's my house. I just want it back. I don't give a shit, Katie. stole it fair and square. I stole your shit, and it's supposed to stay in my hands. So that's what Zimbabwe is going, and that's what Tempo told you about, Katie, that they're scared to move against the Europeans in South Africa, because Tempo told you what, Katie, we're scared of those sanctions. They'll destroy us as a country, and we try to take the land back from white people. We're scared of those sanctions.
Right now, Uganda is sanctioned even by the central bank, and nothing is happening to them. They're still surviving.
Exactly. But Temple told you, I remember a year ago, Katie, we don't want to end up like Zimbabwe. He told you. And they ended up in South Africa too, so they still ended up like Zimbabwe. Hell, you got rolling blackouts in South Africa right now, but they're not being sanctioned. That's just bad decisions that these corrupt puppets have made in South Africa. The thing is, Katie, white people put pressure on you. That's why history is so important. Now, let me give a thing in history real quick. Okay. I got that video of the white guy shit, but this is what happened. So imagine back in the late 1400s, white people were killing each other. They exhausted all their resources because there's nothing in Europe. They were all impoverished. Everybody was stupid. Everybody was ignorant, illiterate. 99% of Europeans were illiterate. Could read, could write, functionally stupid. Right? That's what the Catholic Church wanted. It's an easily controlled stupid people. So they said, okay. The Catholic Church said, okay, you're killing each other and you exhaust your resources. Now you got the technology that the African has brought you how to build boats. Go out and conquer other lands so you won't be here killing each other and exploit their resources and either exterminate their people or enslave them. If you can, do whatever you can do. If you can enslave them, good. If you can extinguish them, even better. So the European leads Europe with the idea of stealing land. Everybody doesn't want to get land. So it goes out to America, Africa, starts killing and stealing land, killing and stealing. As I got Australia, as I got New Zealand, as I got America, as I got all the islands of Colombia, and then Africa, right? He doesn't want to give back the land that he stole. He barely stole, because that goes against his now white supremacy, Katie. That means now he's losing power. He's going to do everything to stop losing power. The land ownership signifies his power, right? It's still in the land. That's why he didn't want the money. But God said, we'll pay you. Even though you stole it, that's like me saying, Katie, I'm going to pay you for the house. You stole it from me. I said, Katie, I don't want your damn money. I want the house. Like, Keith, I'm going to pay you for the house that you stole from me. You're like, no, I don't care. So, land signifies, Katie, their dominance and their minutes of what they've stolen all over the world that made them a power. Lose the land signifies them losing power. And at the end of the day, if you understand the European mindset, everything's about power for Europeans. Everything moves, because you can print money from that. I don't give a fuck about no money, no paper. The money, ask those people who stole the land in Kenya, those tea bars, call me for it, but they take money. I don't want no damn money. I want this land. That signifies my power. You can't pay me nothing. So, Africans start to take back land. That means the Africans start now, the power shift is coming. And that's what they're scared of, that they're losing power. So that's why they keep Zimbabwe in the dark. Same thing they did to Haiti. That's why Haiti's all destroyed and messed up. When the Haitians took the land back, right? And Haiti, what? Paid rent. 150 years paying for them. Here, you don't want to be. African people are crazy.
And you can just tell these people how they do it, because in South Africa we still have blackouts. And remember, this blackouts happens in the areas where we still have apartheid. So it is only black people who are being affected. They cannot keep their white people in darkness. It is only black people.
Yeah, but Simba said we shouldn't blame the white people. Exactly. We shouldn't blame the white people for doing the
they are the ones keeping us in poverty. How don't we blame them? They are the ones keeping us in poverty.
I know he's
crazy. He's not crazy. He's just trying to learn something, and unlearning something. Unlearning a lie is more difficult than learning the truth, So, yeah.
He said, why blame them for helping us? He just admitted that they forced the religion on. He said, yeah, but we accepted it. He knows enough to know that they forced that religion, and that religion is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But he don't blame. He said, yeah, but we've accepted it.
We didn't accept it. We were forced to accept it.
No. So he's happy the Europeans and Kenya gave a job. They only gave you a job, Simba, because they stole. How can they give you a job in a country that wasn't theirs? You don't got nobody in Africa giving Europeans jobs in Europe, in Britain, because they're not gonna let you come in there. It's still their country. They create jobs for them. Those are stolen product. They didn't come to help you. How somebody come help you out of your shit?
They are using your resources to do whatever job they need to do here. So you can't say that they create employment. They are using your own resources. They go, even if it is a manufacturing industry they have created. Remember, those resources are being planted, farmed right here in our country. So you can't say they came to help us. They created employment. These are the resources we used to have. We still have. So at the end of the day, I think. No, I think it is good that we have so many people joining us, and we are able to tell them, even if they don't believe, we are able to tell them. At least they know there's some different story they don't know, or they had heard about this other side. So if they decide to remain ignorant, it's up to them.
I'm surprised a lot of Africans are not as ignorant as they're waking up, Kate. I love it. There's a awakening happening. It's a beautiful thing to see. Most of the guys that was on Jovi's show, the Kenyan guys, were actually telling the truth. There's only Simba that was arguing. They're white people. They come to help us. He didn't know about Margaret Singer. He was talking about how great Planned Parenthood. And your show was good yesterday, kid. I was just joking. It was good to teach those healthy ways for women. That was really important. And I don't know what Cass Williams is crazy. What the lady, I know I'm going, but the lady was talking about, the lady was being European. The lady was asking the child, you understand spirituality? The lady was killing her baby. Then he asked the child, don't come now, I'm not ready. The child hadn't been born yet. She asked him not to come yet in the spiritual realm, which Africans know how to do.
I think that is what she meant, but she misinterpreted it. But at the end of the day, we never know. But she talked about miscarrying, so that was not something that is good. You just talk to the baby before it comes to the spiritual world.
She says, talking to the baby, I'm not ready yet.
Baby, go back. I'm not ready to be your mother. Baby, go back.
Yeah, I'm not ready yet. That's honest. Because, nothing wrong with that. She's not ready. And if you do those old techniques that Africans are scared of, you can learn how to do that again. I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet to be a mother. Come when you come back. When I'm ready, I'll be the best mother you'll ever have.
Exactly.
That's not nothing bad about that. Cash Smith talking crazy. Anyway, African people, what's happening in Zimbabwe, they're the ones making they obviously don't have the money to keep the power. It's completely different in South Africa. They're trying to crush the country so they'll give that land back to the white people. And that's what they told when we came about the new election. The other black guy, the other puppet said, all you gotta do is elect me, all the sanctions stop, we're gonna give white people back their land. That's what they're more understand. The opposition party. The sanctions will start. Zimbabweans vote me in, the sanctions start tomorrow. We're gonna give the white people back their land that they stole from us, and sanctions again.
Remember,
when I first get in there.
Remember, Zimbabwe is the same country the Chinese built a parliament for.
I know.
So this country is far gone. Mnangagwa has been the president for 6 years and there's nothing we can say he has done. There's nothing good. At least for Museveni, we can say he put anti-gay bill into law. But for Mnangagwa, there's no one thing we can count.
Because you gotta understand, he's corrupt. He's not corrupt. The opposition is even worse. The opposition will get a country back to the white people. I told you, Steve, you got to get sophisticated. Go back and study his opposition. They're completely funded by white people. That's why they got the opposition said, hey, as soon as I get power, black people, everything comes back. You have power, Katie. You have clean water. Because the sanctions are going to stop. You know why? Because we're going to give white people back that land that they stole. And you better believe white people are going to lift the sanctions. They're going to come in and steal every goddamn thing again. You'll be working for them. You have power, but you'll be working for them. They'll own the country. They're going to come as investors. Same old fake term. Investors. We're going to come as investors and own everything, and you niggas will work for us.
Yes.
Companies come back. We'll control everything again, and you niggas, back in your goddamn place where you're supposed to be. On the bottom, working for us. Yeah, your lights will come on. You go to the store. Good for you, but you niggas will be working for us, and you'll do what you're told to do.
But I think a time is coming for all Africans to wake up and unite and fight these puppets, because we cannot.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now. And as Roland Nutter said, other Africans are probably, the thing is unite. You must have your own currency, one currency. That's what all the youth is finally understanding. One currency, one African. Shout out to the Nigerians. When I was on the TikTok, the Nigerians are burning up shit. We don't want to be Universe. We don't want to be Igbo. We don't want to be Hausa. We got to get rid of all this tribal shit. That man, the youth are saying it. Our fathers and mothers have let us down. We don't want to have nothing to do with this tribal shit.
True.
That's how the white people have divided and conquered us. They get it. They talking to people from Ghana, all over Africa. This TikTok is like the old YouTube. I don't know how it's gonna last, but I'm about to be on this shit all the time.
For the little time we have.
YouTube was 10 years ago.
For the little time we have, we shall use it accordingly.
Yeah. This how YouTube was 10 years ago. Before they found out, oh man, these niggas are talking and waking up. No. Hell no.
But anyway, kids. Yes, anyway, since we've talked about Zimbabwe, I really wanted to talk about Zimbabwe. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is about assassination of Patrice Lumumba. And this was because I heard you talk about it, and you told this guy to go and read about it. So I decided, because I have a ready piece of it, I guess I can just read it out for us and to all those who don't know what happened to Patrice Lumumba, how he was assassinated, and how, or rather, he was the first prime minister in Congo. I know so many of us right here don't know the story of Patrice Lumumba, so I just have a few pages of it to read for you, and then we shall discuss it as we continue. I see General Mosquito in the building. Karibu sana, General Mosquito. You're saying hi, Katie. Hi to you too, General Mosquito. So as we start up, the MNC won the elections and the right to form a government. Okay, for reference, I'm reading the book, the Illuminati's greatest hits. And the story of Patrice Lumumba is at page 50. Yeah, page 50 to page, I'll tell you where to stop. But I see the MNC won the elections and a right to form a government. They announced Patrice Lumumba as the first prime minister of the Congo and Joseph Kasavubu as its president. Independence Day was celebrated on June 30th, 1960, and it was attended by Belgian King Baudouin, many dignitaries, and a foreign press. As a sign of things to come in King Baudouin's speech, ridiculously praised the developments of the Congo under colonialism and his uncle Leopold II. He also stated the following in his speech: don't compromise the future with the hasty reforms, and don't replace the structure that Belgium hands over to you until you are sure you can do better. Don't be afraid to come to us. We will remain by your side and give you advice. Yes, that is what Leopold said.
Which was a lie. Which was a lie.
Exactly.
And Lumumba said, we're going to break down this colonial rule. We're going to get rid of their educational system. They're like, what? We're going to make Congo work for Congolese. They've been raping and killing us for the last 100 years. Congo is now going to be our power. They're like, uh-oh. Go ahead.
To the next page, that is page 56. The newly elected President Kasavubu actually thanked the king, but Patrice Lumumba delivered an impromptu speech that reminded the audience that the independence of Congo wasn't granted generously or without struggle. He said the following: for this independence of the Congo, even as it is celebrated today with the Belgium, a friendly country with whom we deal as equal to equal, no Congolese worthy of the name will ever be able to forget that it was by fighting that it has been won. A day to fight, day to fight. A day to fight, day fight. An ardent and idealistic fight, a fight in which we were spared neither privation nor suffering, and for which we gave our strength and our blood. We are proud of this struggle and of tears, of fire, and of blood, to death of our being, for it was a noble and just struggle and indispensable to put an end of humiliating slavery which was imposed upon us by force. So you can tell it was very painful to get this independence. And
Exactly. Like Kenya had to fight. The white people say, yeah, you fought and beat us and killed us, but still say that we are good. I keep dealing with psychopaths, Katie. But after you fight them, they still want to say, yeah, but still say we're good and we allowed you to have independence. Well, that's a lie.
The speech became a media sensation in the West, and Western powers saw Lumumba as a serious threat because he was a revolutionary, wanted the Congolese people as well as African people worldwide to see themselves as equals with their former colonizers and enslavers, a view that basically sealed his fate. There was a continue.
Yeah, Patrice Lumumba says we are equal to many white people. We are Africans, and we are on the richest continent, so how dare these white people got us in a time of vulnerability when they came into now they've defend us, but we've always been we've always had more money than these people, we've always been richer than these people. So how the hell have they ever been better than us? And that scared them, because I was going to go to Africa. They said, oh no, we'll lose this neo-colonialism that we're setting up in Kenya and Ghana. We got to get rid of his ass. So he was letting the Africans know, hold your damn head up. These white people are not better than you, and you insane, I'm giving you back yourself. Nobody's better than you. So he was giving them back their confidence. African people, you got to suffer from having no confidence, but being conquered and colonized. So when a person gives you back your confidence, okay, that becomes a threat to white power.
True.
Then you start saying, who the hell you think you're talking to? Go ahead.
So as we continue,
Same way you did that white man in Pasadena. Like, y'all, what?
yeah, you're
How dare
calling
you
us
let white
animals and you have recessive genes. Shout out to Kid Ronga. You're saying I'm a hip hop artist. Kindly support my music on YouTube. Please go to DM us at Blackouts Fire Network, and I'll get to support your music. And yes, as we continue, there was a dissent within the army only a few days after independence. General Jassens, an army head, told the soldiers that their lot would not change after independence. So the soldiers rebelled in protest. Moise Tombe, who was from the powerful ethnic group Lunda and backed by the Belgian mining monopoly union Miniere that had Katanga, took advantage of the chaos and used it as an opportunity to claim that mineral-rich province of Katanga was seceding from the Congo. And you see, this is how they make sure that there's a war. They come and start now taking advantage of that war and stealing your resources. It is quite clear. He was ordered to do this by the Belgian government.
But Simba said we can't blame the white people.
Lol. I don't have nothing to say. He was ordered to do this by the Belgian government, who never had any real intentions for giving up control of the Congo and the wealth that Katanga generated.
The wealth that it generates. Yeah, white people have no intention, family, of giving up Africa and the wealth. So black, you irritated saying the wealth that it generates. That's why you're impoverished and living hand to mouth. White people are not willing to give up the wealth that Africa, not just the Africa generates. Go ahead,
Yes. Katanga was the source of the bulk Congo's copper, cobalt, uranium, gold, and other natural resources. The Belgians sent in troops, and United States President Dwight Eisenhower supported the Belgian military intervention on behalf of Katanga. He did this mainly because he saw Lumumba's ideology as a threat to the Western colonial imperialist powers and many prominent U.S. officials and the U.S. corporations had financial ties to Katanga's world.
But as you read that, kid, I want you to understand, kid, we must not blame the white people. Okay, go ahead.
Belgium's intervention was denounced by the Soviet Union and many other countries. This led the United Nations Security Council to authorize the withdrawal of Belgian troops and have them replaced by a United Nations military force. The United Nations military force intervened in Katanga, but it did not end the secession. Unable to stop the revolt, Lumumba appealed to the United Nations and the United States for help, but he was refused. So he returned to the Soviet Union, and they assisted him with the food, medical supplies, trucks, and planes to transport his troops to Katanga.
What Lumumba didn't understand, being the new young African, he didn't have all the facts that you guys got now. White people are not going to side with you against other white people that's trying to take over your land. They're not going to help you. You're black. So you understand that UN was not there to help you. Lumumba in America was going to side with imperialism because they benefit from stealing your shit and keep you in the bottom. So you're going to other white people, they were not going to help you. They were going to help the other white people kill you. Good.
True. On September 5th, 1960, President Kasavubu, a CIA stooge, dismissed Lumumba as prime minister.
Say that again.
A CIA stooge.
But I was trying to have even understand.
Mhm. I hope he was. I wish he was there. I wish he's here with us so that he can
I
understand.
wish he would. I wish he would learn what you just said right there.
Mhm.
You can't blame the white people.
Yes.
Okay.
Lumumba questioned the legality of the dismissal. Lumumba tried to broadcast his position on the radio to the Congolese people. However, the UN military force shut down the radio station. Meanwhile, President Hausa, according to findings by the Senate Select Committee, which said there was reasonable inference to believe the following assertion: the Ens House ordered the assassination of Patrice Lumumba. So it was the U.S. president.
Kenny said it's the white people that said, we're not going to give you, because understand this about the wealth of the Congo. The Congo ain't been the same since. It's been struggling to fight because it's wealthy family. White people are there destabilizing it because it's wealthy. Okay? It's not other Africans. The other Africans that are helping are their puppets. Like Katie said, CIA stooges. Good, Katie.
Yes. In fact, the United States role was documented by the 1975 Senate Select Committee on Intelligence Hearings, which was chaired by Idaho Senator Frank Church. The Senate Select Committee also went on record with the conclusion that the CIA Director, Alan Dulles, had ordered Lumumba's assassination as an agent and prime objective, which was Dulles' own words. In one of the attempts,
everybody understand TikTok, we must not blame white people. Okay?
Attempts on Lumumba, a CIA scientist was sent to the Congo with a lethal biological virus that was to be used to assassinate Lumumba.
Hey. Also, so you mean some of they brought in diseases, but they're still doing today a biological weapon, Katie, a virus. Oh, anybody say 19? Go ahead.
However, that plot was never carried out because they weren't able to come up with a secure enough agent with the right access. On September 14th, 1960, Joseph Mobutu, later known as Mobutu Sese Seko, organized a CIA and Belgium-sponsored coup and deposed of Prime Minister Lumumba. Lumumba was then placed under house arrest, even though UN troops were there supposedly to protect him. Lumumba escaped at night and went to Stanleyville, where his supporters had control. I put the words "escaped" in quotes because, according to the elder Carl Evans, this was all a CIA setup. The plan was to lure Lumumba to Stanleyville. According to the elder, in a cable to CIA headquarters dated November 14th, Lumumba's escape had been arranged. Lumumba was told by a representative of the UN and his young daughter was on her deathbed. Lumumba was told by a representative of the UN that his young daughter was on her deathbed. Lumumba noticed that the house was lightly guarded, and desperate to see his dying daughter, he escaped. He was captured in Port Francois by troops and were loyal to Mobutu, who knew that he was coming with two of his top aides, Joseph Okito and Maurice Mpolo. The Soviet Union immediately demanded Lumumba's release and called upon the UN Security Council to act. However, the Soviet Union resolution was defeated in an 8-2 vote. Mobutu transferred Lumumba over to the Katanga province and into hands of Moise Dombe, and he was assassinated along with Okito and Mpolo. Yes.
Understand? They threw him in a bag of acid, family. They put this man in acid to dissolve his whole body. Understand how wicked and evil this was, because Mobutu, the puppet, as you say, got democratically elected, all that crazy shit they tell you, was president for over 40 years. This man never invented shit. He never done shit, but Katie can look this up. When he was the president, he was the richest man in Africa. He never made shit, never invented shit. Oh, he stole the resources. He got the crumbs of the European.
Wasn't he the one that took trousers and shirts? Or which president? The ones who took trousers and shirts and shoes.
No, that wasn't that later. That's the guy from Zambia.
What was his name again?
I forgot the guy from Zambia. You gotta go look at that president, ex-president. That was a Zambia. Nah, he had more than trousers and shirts. But,
he was rich.
Mobutu became the richest man in all of Africa because he sat in control of Congo. They gave the white people gave him his crumbs, which made him wealthy, while they took the majority of the wealth out, right? So he never been at nothing, never done nothing, but he was the richest man in Africa. Huh? Because he was their puppet. And he got his cut. So just Google Katie for me.
Okay.
Say, was Mobutu the richest man in Africa? At one time. Say it was, however you spell his name.
Seseko. Okay, I know the spelling.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah, was he once the richest man in Africa? Yes. What the hell did he do? He didn't make shit. He didn't invent shit. He didn't run no factory. Oh, he was the corrupt president. All these presidents get rich. Right? The fucking Urus are rich. The Musevnis are rich. All these puppets are all wealthy. How? They don't make nothing. All the other politicians, you can't get rich being a politician if you're not stealing. So, all the richest people in Africa are the politicians because they're all bought and paid for by the CIA. You guys get it?
Okay, they're not giving me the answer we need.
Okay, didn't say it yet, but he was the richest man in Africa for a long time. Did he ever invent anything? No. He ever built a factory? No. He ever manufactured anything? No. It's like the goddamn Uhuru family.
But I see, even Google is saying that Mobutu led one of the most enduring dictatorship in Africa and amassed a personal fortune estimated to be over $5 billion by selling his nation's rich resources.
Yeah, so he was the rich, yeah, 5 billion. That's the wealthy, because most of the leaders today in Africa only worth like 500 million. You imagine how much more? You're talking about 500 million times what? What's that, times 20? That's like having 500 million 20 times, Katie. And that's back then. He was worth $5 billion, Katie. That's probably like 20 billion a day, 30 billion in today's money. So yeah,
and people were living in poverty.
Yes, Katie. Remember, the CIA puts the despots in power. That's why the Uhuru family so corrupt and fucked up. Jomo Kenyatta was their despot. They get this, they know what despots they get, who want power with money. They're born in poverty. I said, yeah, we're gonna use this corrupt ass nigga. Be our puppet. That's how they got Museveni. We're gonna use this corrupt ass nigga here. They get the people with the most best character, Kate, who all about money and don't give a shit about the people who would do their bidding, who allow us to keep raping and stealing the country, and who don't give a shit about the people. Like all the people, all the corrupt bastards in Nigeria. That's why they go out the country to get their medical work and their dental work. They don't give a shit about the country or the people. Because they make, when the CIA puts these people in power, Kate, they make sure they are the worst. They are the worst. Because I need them to do my bidding. You can't care about your people, and then you'll go against me. Say, hey, what? If I put, say, hey, Keith, these mines belong
Anyway, kids, we are out of time. Yes, we are out of time, and we really, yes, much love. Asante Sana for joining us, and to everybody who was here with us. I hope you have enjoyed our discussion and conversation of the day, and I hope you learned something. To all those who didn't know how.
You gonna read something? You gonna read the rest of the comments before you leave? What they say?
This is Demore. Okay, this is Demore. He's saying hello, Katie. Hello to you too, Demore. And the other one is an artist who is asking us to support his music. There are no comments, but I see Demore is saying finish with a song called Candidate and Biso Mobutu by Franco Luambo. Okay, will I find it right now? But I see General Mosquito was with us, Ansan Kenwan, and to the rest of the silent listeners. Asanteni sana to all those who have been with us on today's episode. Much love. Hope you get to join us on the word of the stream.
Greetings and salutations all the way in Switzerland and you too.
You have to forgive me. I can't find your song right now, but I'll play it for you on Wednesday.